What's going on, YouTube? Welcome to the Living Free channel. My name is Tyler Freed, and today I'm running through the great state of Georgia, running through the back roads of Georgia, and I am headed down to Albany, Georgia. And I figured I would make a video because it is a bright sunny day and I'm in a good mood, and I figured I would drop a video about something pertaining to trucking, pertaining to, you know, being a truck driver, being a company truck driver, because that is what I am. So I figured I would make a video and give my opinion on a thing that I believe affects a lot of newer truck drivers and affects newer truck drivers actually staying in the business. And that is going to be, you know, the miles you get with your company. Like, the company you're with, are they running you? Are they getting you good miles, you know? And but before I dive deep into this topic, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel for more content like this in the future. I make trucking content, I make personal development content, motivational content, financial content, and just basic content about my life. So thank you for clicking on my video, and please stay tuned till the end of my video for the conclusion of this topic. So let me get right into it. You know, if you're new to trucking or you're looking at getting into trucking, one thing you definitely want to figure out whenever you're looking at a company to work for or start with or whatever is, you know, do they have the freight? Do they have contracts? You know, if these companies do not have a lot of direct customers where they have contracts with these shippers and with these receivers, and they're doing a lot of brokered loads, it is going to be tough to get the miles that, you know, other drivers are getting at other companies that do have these contracts. And why is that? Because a lot of times when these companies have contracts, there is a lot of drop and hook freight. And drop and hook freight is where you take an empty trailer into the shipper, drop that, pick up a loaded trailer and leave. And when you get to the receiver, same thing. You drop the loaded trailer, pick up an empty, or pick up another loaded trailer and take it to the next destination out of the receiver, because it could be a shipper and a receiver. And I'm just explaining that to people who don't really know anything about trucking, and that's kind of what drop and hook freight is. So now, live loads are, hey, I pick up a load, I have to sit at a dock and wait for it to be loaded, and I deliver, and I have to wait for it to be unloaded. That is live load and live unload. So, and what's the problem with live load, live unload as a company driver? Well, the problem is you do a lot of sitting. You could be waiting at a dock to get unloaded or get loaded for a good 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hours at times. You know, this isn't all the time, but it does happen. And if you're a company driver and an owner-operator, really, but especially when you're a company driver being paid by the mile, that really affects the miles you get for the week, and the miles you get for the week affects your pay for the week. And over the course of the month, it definitely affects that. So, you know, but live unloads and drop and hooks are one thing, but another thing is, do you do a lot of sitting around? Are you delivering a load and then getting stuck for a day waiting to get reloaded? You know, there are some companies that drivers go to that they may pay a high cent per mile or whatever, but they don't get a lot of miles, right? Like, you could be making 75 cents a mile at a company, but they only get you 2,000 miles a week. And then you could be making 65 cents at another company, and they're getting you 32, 33, 3,400 miles a week. You're going to make out better at the company that's running you more than you are at the company that's paying you a high cent per mile, but not keeping you moving. And I believe that's an important thing for newer drivers to consider when looking at companies to go work for. And really, in your first year, just to be frank, like in your first year, whatever company you're starting with to get your CDL, really your goal is to get your CDL, get your experience, learn how to drive. But after a business, after you really know how to drive, how to do the job, right? But so this is really for people who have that experience, or they have the option. Let's say they went to a private school, they went to a private school to get their CDL, and when they get out of that school, they have the option to go work for a pretty good company right out the gate. There are a lot of people that do that. They just go to like a community college or whatever, and they get their CDL, and they're able to go run for a mid-size or smaller company and make great money right away. Now, that is not the majority of drivers. The majority of drivers go to these mega carriers and get their licenses through them. And we all know as truck drivers who the mega carriers are, and I'm not going to mention their names in the video. We all pretty much know who they are, but after you get that experience, that's really who this video is for. Yeah, you want to make a high rate per mile. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying don't try to find a company that pays a high rate per mile. But at the same time, find a company that pays a high rate per mile, but also is getting you the miles. Well, how do you find out what kind of miles this company is getting their drivers? Well, you can go talk to the drivers at the truck stop. If it's a decent sized company, you can go up and walk up to somebody and ask them, how's the company? How do you like it? What kind of miles you get? What are the benefits? Blah, blah, blah. You can definitely do that. I've done that many different times. Now, I've been with the same company that I started with for the last 3 years, but, you can do that. I have asked around and asked about other companies, and there's a lot of great companies out there. There's a lot of bad companies out there. But really the main thing is, hey, do they pay a good rate per mile? Do they have a good benefits program? And do they get you the miles? Do they run you? If you're a hard worker in trucking, if you're somebody who really manages their time well, does the work, stays out, hustles, you're going to make great money in this business. Whether you're a company driver, owner, operator, if you have some sense and you have some work ethic, you can make great money. You can make six figures. You can really change your future in this business. And so I just really wanted to address in this video, I wanted to make a quick video addressing, hey, whatever company you're with, if you're not getting the miles, I truly believe you should be moving all the time. Every legal minute you can possibly move this truck, you should be able to move. That company should be getting you the freight to move, right? You should not be sitting, unless you're sitting at a dock, the company can't control that. But if you're sitting and you're not unloading or loading or whatever, stuck at a shipper and receiver, you should be moving. They should have you moving. They should have you racking up the miles. If they are not, you need to leave that company and go to another company, okay? Because you are wasting your time. There is no sense in being out here over the road if you are not averaging, and this is an average, if you are not averaging 2,800 miles to 3,500 miles a week, in between there, 28 to 35 a week, and this is every week, you doing what you need to do to make those miles, you doing the work, right? If they're not keeping you loaded and keeping you running and getting you those miles, you definitely need to go to a different company. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. You need to go to a different company. And there's plenty of them out there. If you're a good driver, you will find those companies that pay well and also keep you moving. And that's really what I wanted to say in this video. That's it, honestly. If you stayed tuned till the end, I appreciate you for watching my video. I would really appreciate it if you would share the video, subscribe to the channel, like the video, and watch some of my other videos that I am going to recommend at the end of this one. So anyway, God bless. Have a great day. Thank you for watching.